All right, welcome back to Waste Some Time with Jason Green. I am Jason Green. It is Wednesday. That means we're here live. I hope everybody had a nice Christmas. That's what Christmases are for. So I hope everyone enjoyed it. I hope everyone watched our Christmas special. And for those of you who are not big fans of Christmas, I hope that we helped you to get through the season a little bit. We still got more. Christmas doesn't end for me until sometime around February, maybe March. So as you can see, I am still decorated for the holidays, still watching Christmas specials and all of those type of things. So we've got a lot to get to today. I wanted to talk a little bit about Lemmy because today is the anniversary of his passing. And I'll talk about how I knew him just a little bit. And we're going to talk about Criss Angel's birthday party. There was an all-star event that I was at. We'll talk about that. And we will talk about the Stryper Christmas party that Johnny Monaco and I attended. Hopefully he'll be here soon. And then after that, a young band from New Jersey called the BELLAS will be here that I met when on tour with Stephen Pearson. They appeared on one of our tour diaries. And anyway, those young ladies will be here as well. So we've got a lot to get to. So all those things I spoke about and more right after this. Just wanna waste some time with you. Sometimes it seems too good to be true. Nobody out there to waste time with you. All right, well, let's get started before who knows? Johnny maybe will be here at some point. He has a free dinner that he has to get to, so he won't be able to stay long. So as I was saying at the beginning, this is the anniversary of Lemmy's passing. He was born right around Christmas, passed away right after Christmas. And I was fortunate to work with him several times. And so I'll tell a couple of those stories. And the Bellas are in the green room, so they'll be here soon enough. And maybe we'll bring them in sooner. But so anyway, as far as Lemmy goes, and now I feel awkward talking about it with the Bellas here, but I met Lemmy through a guy named Ron Jeremy, who is a disgraced adult film star. Anyway, he brought me to a shoot for a thing called Freak of the Week. It was a music video, a rap music video that had adult stars and also had music stars. And when I got there, first person I saw was Lemmy, and I was so excited coming from New York City to see the legendary Lemmy from Motorhead. And so I got to know him a bit, and I was working on a movie called Romeo and Juliet, and I wrote a draft of that. The movie was completed by a guy named James Gunn, who went on to is one of the most successful people in Hollywood right now, a big part of the Marvel universe. And so we had the idea that who better for this Romeo and Juliet, which is a Romeo and Juliet sort of parody, if you will, who better to play the narrator than Lemmy? And me and a friend of mine, David Schultz, reached out to Lemmy's camp, and we reached out to Lemmy, and we got him to not only appear in the movie, but give a song called Sacrifice, all for the fee of $1. He loved art. So anyway, while we were filming that movie, he didn't get along with James Gunn very well, but he did get along with me. And we hit it off. He invited me to see him play that night with Black Sabbath at the Roseland Ballroom. The lineup of Black Sabbath was Tony Martin, Tony Iommi, Neil Murray, and the late Cozy Powell. And it was a great show. Anyway, so at that point, I stayed in touch with Lemmy, and I also, when they played in the Universal Amphitheater, I saw that same tour in California, and we'd stayed in touch, and I saw him many times, and I got him to come out and play in Las Vegas with the Sin City Sinners, which is not an easy feat. Lemmy is not the kind of guy who wants to jam. He wouldn't play any Motorhead songs. He played all 50s rock and roll, and it was a huge honor to have him there. We went to promote the movie Romeo and Juliet at the AFM American Film Market in Santa Monica, and I spent the entire day with him. He wanted to meet David Carradine, and we went to all these events together that day. And while everyone says Lemmy's God and he was this massive star, unfortunately, this was at the point, right? People were saying that, but not everybody knew who he was. We were able to walk around and be at this event. It was mostly movie people, not rock people. And so we had a great time hanging out. And I remember that day he asked my friend and I if we could drive him back to his house. And so Lemmy got a 2-liter of Coca-Cola. He spilled out 75% of the Coca-Cola. He went to an ice machine. He filled it mostly with ice, and then the rest with Jack Daniels, which he then took into the car. We got to his house, and he asked if we wanted to come in. It was an apartment. It looked kind of like Melrose Place, if you remember that. It's a dated reference. There was a pool, and then there was apartments, 2 stories of apartments around the pool. And it was a very small studio place. Maybe there was a bedroom, and it's in his documentary, so you can see it. So we had to say yes. So we went into Lemmy's apartment, and right over the couch was a giant swastika flag, massive flag. Now, Lemmy was a World War II collector. He wasn't a racist, and he wasn't a Nazi, but he did collect the memorabilia, and it was a bit strange. I remember Tracy Guns telling me that you feel like a bad Jew when you go to Lemmy's house. Anyway, but underneath this giant red swastika on the couch was a woman, African-American woman, sort of asleep, and I think was Lemmy's girlfriend for a while. And so it created for an interesting picture. I'm looking around. This is before you had cell phone cameras. And I said to Lemmy, you mind if I take a picture? I hate to be that guy. And he insisted that I wear his World War II hats and take pictures. And he showed me his Hitler autograph collection. One was purchased for him by Ozzy Osbourne as a birthday present. And it was an interesting experience. And I stayed in touch with him, and I got him to come out to do the Vegas Rocks Awards because we got him a flight, and he came to play with the Sinners. And then I also I directed him in this award show. I've told the story many times about how he told me, I told him, I'm going to sneak you in around the back. It's going to be organized. But when I went to do that, they changed everything. And he yelled at me, Jason, this is the opposite of organized. And it was an honor to be yelled at by him. He was mostly a very kind guy. At that point, he had diabetes, I believe. He was in trouble. He stopped drinking the Jack Daniels. He was drinking, I think, Maker's Mark at that point, but drinking less. But I think a lot of us knew that it was towards the end. Anyway, I had seen him so many times. I would go sit with him on layovers when he was passing through town or whatever it was. I never really hung out with him at the Rainbow. Everyone knows he played the same machine every day. But I never really saw him in that capacity. He did not drive, a man after my own heart. He never drove. Phil Campbell of Motorhead at that time would drive him a little bit, or whoever. But he could walk from the Rainbow to his apartment. Anyway, I was fortunate to see Motorhead several times, saw them open for Wasp. They blew Wasp away that night. And that was with Chris Holmes and Blackie. And so anyway, I just thought we'd talk. I think it's been 5 or 6 years now. It's hard to believe, but I thought I'd talk a little bit about Lemmy and what an interesting guy he was, the documentaries. And I'm sure people have told these stories. But on my social media, I have some pictures of some of the crazy things that we did. And so anyway, you can check those out. So the Bellas are standing by. You ladies are there, right? Okay, they're waving. They're there. So we're going to get to them in just a little bit. But first, let's bring Johnny Monaco in. Johnny, how are you?
Hello.
Now, Johnny, I know you have a free dinner to get to, so we've got to make sure that we stay on schedule.
Yeah.
Plus, the Bellas are here. They're young ladies, and I'm not sure if you're allowed to be in the room with them. So, so we've got to talk fast. Johnny, I want to talk a little bit about this Criss Angel birthday party. You stayed in Illinois after our last trip, and so you did not attend. You were with family, and so at home in Illinois. I went back with Stephen and Christy and Eric, and our flight. We missed our connecting flight. They had to put us up for the night in Detroit. It was just as much fun as it sounds. And then when we came back, Stephen wanted me to help with this Criss Angel event. And so I'll tell you a little bit about it. It was at the House of Blues at the Mandalay Bay. And Criss Angel ties his birthday in with his charity, which is the Johnny Christopher Foundation. His son nearly lost his life. Amazingly, the kid looks great and has made a recovery. And Criss is doing everything he can to donate money to help other kids who might be in the same situation. They may not have the resources that Criss Angel has. So, Johnny, let me tell you a little bit. We've talked about this a little bit, but I have the set list here from this amazing event, and so let me just put on my spectacles. These were not from Spectacle, but I'll put them on. So opening the show was "Tame Me Down," Johnny. You know "Tame Me Down"?
Yeah.
He's in the Faster Pussycat.
Mm-hmm.
Now Criss Angel selected the songs these guys played. This is his set list. He made the set, and he played "Bathroom Wall," "You're So Vain," "House of Pain," and "Poison Ivy." Now, and which is I think are good choices. The house band at that point were Zach Throne, which is ironic because Zach Throne used to play with Brent Muscat, who was in Faster Pussycat, but Brent Muscat doesn't seem to be playing much music these days. So Zach Throne, Brent Woods on the bass, on guitar. On the bass was Robbie Crane, and then on the drums was Brent Fitz. It was a lot of Brents in this band. And so that was sort of your house band, and Tammy came up and sang those four. Next, Phil Lewis came up. I will point out that Tame Me Down prefers to perform in standard tuning. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was interested by that. Phil Lewis then came up a half step down, which is normal. That's concert pitch. He played "Kiss My Love Goodbye," "The Ballad of Jane," and "Never Enough." A lot of people know that Phil Lewis and I didn't always get along. And yet he came over, and it was the bigger man, shook my hand, and we and said Merry Christmas, and we moved on from there. So that was it was a Christmas miracle, Johnny.
Sure was.
Because we know that he came to your house to insult me, but that's all in the past now. Then Lita Ford,
a warning.
Right, true, a warning, yeah. And you probably should have listened. Okay, and then Lita Ford came up. She was also a half step down. She played "Hungry," "Back to the Cave," "Close My Eyes Forever," and "Kiss Me Deadly." Zach Throne sang "Close My Eyes Forever." I don't think he was prepared to do it. He sings fine, but he was reading it off a piece of paper. And at one point, they said, Sebastian Bach said, "Why am I not doing this?" And they told him, because last time you did it, you did a Ozzy impression, and everyone was cracking up or something. Okay. Then next was Kip Winger. He's a whole step down, and he played acoustic, but the band played electric. He did "Easy Come, Easy Go," "Hungry," "Can't Get Enough." Then they played says something called "Headed for a Heartbreak," and then 17. You know that song. The Bellas are probably familiar with that one as well. And he played those, and he played the. What's the John Lennon Christmas song called, Johnny?
So This Is Christmas?
Yeah, I think that's what. Or "War Is Over."
War Is Over, yeah.
So he played that, and it was nice catching up with Kip. He told me that he will come on the show next year to promote his new album. Also, Tammy will come on and talk about some history of Faster Pussycat. Him and I had lost touch for a little while. Okay, next up was Sebastian Bach, standard tuning again. And I think he may have stole the show, aside from the great Stephen Pearcy, of course. But I thought Sebastian was great. "Big Guns," "Sweet Little Sister," "18 in Life," "Monkey Business," "I Remember You," "Youth Gone Wild." He brought his kids on stage. He brought Criss Angel's kids on stage. One of the things, Johnny, I was telling you is that Criss Angel had his own microphone in the audience, and he sort of used it as like a Mr. Microphone. And he could just talk whenever he felt like it. And he would just interject. It was his party. He could do what he wants to. Tony Orlando of Tony Orlando and Dawn was there. Very odd, but he's a Vegas guy. Lived here for 62 years, he says. Sebastian Bach began to sing "Tie a Yellow Ribbon." He passed the microphone to Tony Orlando, who then took the microphone and sang the entire song and gave a 10-minute speech. But it was exciting to see him. I should point out the great Paul Stanley of Kiss was also there. Now, Eddie Trunk was sort of the host. You know, by host, I mean he goes, "Here's this guy, here's that guy." That's what hosts do. It's not like he tells side-splitting anecdotes. So Paul Stanley does not like Eddie Trunk. In fact, he said that Eddie Trunk's show is like Wayne's World, that it's like public access. But for the charity, Paul Stanley came on stage. He played "Whole Lot of Love" and "All Right Now," and it was exciting that he was there. The night kicked off, I forgot to mention, where Flava Flav got up and he played "911" as a joke. He sang to a track, and then he sat down and played the drums. He's a good drummer. So I want to make sure I got to that. So then Sebastian was very good. Then next, the great Stephen Pearcy. played, and Eric joined him. They played "You're in Love," "Lay It Down," "Back for More," "Loving You's a Dirty Job," "Body Talk," and "Round and Round." And that was a lot of fun. And then they closed the night with the great Robin Zander. Also, Zander, standard tuning. "Dream Police," "She's Tight," "Tonight It's You," "Voices," "If You Want My Love," "I Can't Take It," "The Flame," "I Want You to Want Me," "Surrender." They were supposed to play Rudolph, Run Run Rudolph. That didn't happen. So anyway, this was a fun event, and I wanted to share this with the audience because most people didn't get to see it. There's a few clips on YouTube. I filmed a little bit of it, and so at the end of the night, they auctioned off a signed guitar. It went for $60,000. Criss Angel then doubled that, and then he also put down $1 million out of his own pocket for the charity. Yeah, it was pretty impressive. I will tell you, Johnny, at this point, all the musicians were lined up on stage, and when he said that he's going to give over basically $1.5 million, everyone looked around thinking, we probably should ask for more money. I mean, I can't guarantee they thought that, but the faces of these guys who are working for a living, realizing that Criss Angel has got that kind of scratch, was interesting. Anyway, he's a very nice guy. It was a nice function at the House of Blues. It's a shame that you were out of town. It would have been nice to make fun of everybody with you there as well. And I know Phil Lewis would have loved to see you. He was a very big Johnny Monaco fan. Now I want to tell the people about Stryper with you. But first, let me just make sure the Bellas are okay waiting in the green room. Hello, ladies. How are you?
Hi. How are you?
Good. I'm glad you're here. Now, are you guys okay to hang out a little longer?
Yeah, all good.
Okay, good. So we're going to get back to you guys. Just hang out where you are. There's Johnny Monaco.
Hi.
Within 100 feet, so everything's fine. And we'll bring you guys in a little bit. Hope you're going to like these stories that we're going to tell. All right.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm trying to reach a younger demographic, Johnny Monaco. The demographic for my YouTube audience is between 65 and 84 years of age, and male like 99%. The other 1%, I believe, are undecided. These are different times. So anyway, I think the kids are going to come on, and they're going to really bring a new audience here. I'm going to take credit for discovering them if they break out after this and become huge. So anyway, the Bellas will be here in just a little bit, and it will have some eye candy and some talent and some youth, and we'll see what's going on in New Jersey. It's probably a blizzard. We're lucky they're there. So Johnny, you and I were invited to go to the Stryper Christmas party.
Yeah.
You weren't sure you were going to be able to go because you were in Illinois, but you came home in time, and Michelle and you and me, we went to the Trump, the Stryper Christmas party, and it was in the Trump Tower. Now, I don't know if they wanted to say that because they wanted to separate politics. I know in their videos they did not mention where they are. I can say that I never expected to enter the Trump Tower here in Las Vegas, but I will say, Johnny, you and I were very mature. We explored the gift shop. I asked them if they had a Bernie Sanders section. You told them that the elevators were not fantastic. They were not the most tremendous elevators in the world, as claimed to. I also said, I can't believe you don't have a single piece of Joe Biden merchandise. The employees, Johnny, enjoyed your impression. And in fact, it seemed like they weren't so fond of their employer, but everybody's got to work. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, there was a beautiful view, and we went up to the top of it was like the 65th floor or something.
Mm-hmm.
And we got there a little early. They had a great spread of food, and Oz was setting up the karaoke.
Yeah.
And we learned he loves a good karaoke. And so when we got there at that point, Oz was there. Michael Sweet was there with his lovely wife, Lisa Sweet. And, of course, Oz's wife, Annie, was there as well. And we sort of made our rounds. We had first dibs on the food, which was great. We helped ourselves to the great food. Johnny visited the bar several times.
Jeez.
I believe you had 4 martinis, Johnny.
Yeah, those 4 martinis really crept up on me.
You went easy on the olives, I saw, but heavy on the vodka.
Drinking.
So then Robert Sweet arrived. He is he's the reclusive one of the Sweet family, but he showed up, and I think he has trouble staying in one place. He has a huge family. We met his lovely wife, and Star, and they've got a big family. There was grandchildren and children, and this event was really to honor the Sweet's parents, the matriarch and patriarch of the Sweet family, and unfortunately, the Sweet their father was ill and was in the hospital, was not able to attend the event. So that was difficult, and everyone was sending their thoughts and prayers and things for him. And so, but their mother Janice was there, and she sang some rock and karaoke, and we were both impressed that all these Sweets can sing.
Yeah.
They all got up and they sang and they karaoke. Johnny was hoping to sing some regular music, not just Christmas music, but they had mostly Christmas tunes. But Johnny, you did get up and sing with the family.
They asked me to get up there with them, so.
Yes. Well, and you did, and it was nice. You stood between Oz and Michael, and you belted out some Christmas songs. No flames were burst into.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, and it was a very nice, casual thing. There were not many other performers. Stacey Blades was there, who used to be in LA Guns, and he played. So there was 2 former members of LA Guns in the room, including yourself, and he was there. Other than that, I don't think anyone that you could sort of name drop, right?
Yeah, a couple locals.
Yeah, I mean some local folks, but not anyone that our audience would know. Anyway, it was a great time, and we were there about 4 hours. I usually like to get in and get out, but we were having such a nice time, and they were such gracious hosts. They played my song "Christmas in Vegas," and Michael Sweet got up and put his ear to the stereo, and he enjoyed it. He said it reminded him of Jellyfish, and they are really nice people, and it was very nice of them to invite us.
I thought so.
Our wretched souls.
I'm surprised.
So after the Stryper family Christmas party, I had the bright idea that we should go down to a thing called Enchant at Resorts World. It's a Christmas thing. You can go watch the video right now. The problem, Johnny, was I didn't realize you were a little intoxicated at that point.
Yeah. It's because, I mean, we ate as much as we could, but they had so much food left over because I guess they thought there was going to be more people. And these pockets are kind of half sewn together. So I couldn't fit the fillets in my pants. I was gonna take as much food home as I could, but you couldn't do that. I guess they said you can't take the food.
Well, I don't know if it's the rule of the hotel or the state, but you could not take the food with you. Yeah, or it could be the big guy.
But they told us eat as much as you can. We tried to eat. I thought I ate a lot, but by the time I got out of there, I was really drunk.
We got to Enchant. I went the night before to there's 2 Enchants here in town. This one was at Resorts World. You knew the gentleman who runs it pretty much. He does the hiring and things, and he was a nice guy. He lives in your palatial estate, and he took care of the fee, which is good because a few days earlier we went to the snow carnival where they charged the 3 of us $116, and so it was nice to get comped to this. We went in, and then we had drinks. You had a straight cup of vodka, no mixer, no chaser, no ice, no nothing, just vodka. At one point, you asked a child of, I would say, 8 years old to hold your cup for you, which Michelle and I told the kid not to. He was very nice and was going to. You were a little intoxicated, as I said. We went through and met Santa Claus because it was Christmas, and you asked Santa to work on your cholesterol, which was nice. He's not a cardiologist, but it was your Christmas request.
He stayed in character. He was pretty good.
He stayed in character. You try to break him.
Well, he also might have been drunk, but he was in character.
I think he was high because he kept talking to you about Colorado and the crops.
Yeah, and he had the soul the size of a shark. But I'm pretty sure there's no way he's getting down a chimney. He had to be like 75 years old.
Yes, true. And but I forgot to hit record when we went through. I was nervous meeting the Santa Claus. And so you and I went back a second time. He was so happy to see us. But we
one way to describe it,
yeah.
Surprised.
We were very surprised. We had a good time. You can watch the videos of us at the Snow Carnival right now. You can watch the videos of us at Enchant right now. And Johnny, people love these things. We were just being ourselves.
Yeah.
So
I've never been to that place before. Maybe once.
Which place?
M Resort.
Oh yeah, that was the M Resort, right? M Resort was the Snow Carnival. They told us it was for children. They didn't stop it.
So the kids had a good time. They don't know how to do snowball fighting.
Yes.
They're brought up differently now. I'm trying to show the little one that you got to put rocks in the snowballs, and he didn't know what I was talking about. And then I started throwing them at him, and he laughed and then started throwing it back. So you could teach them. You just got to put the sword in their hand. Get out there.
Well, you did. Yeah, you were helping the children to get a practical skill. So many kids are homeschooled now. They don't learn snowball fighting in homeschooling.
They have never seen Lord of the Flies, evidently, but they'll learn.
For sure. Now that was Christmas Eve. On Christmas Day, we got a call from Joaquin. Joaquin plays drums for Stephen Pearcy occasionally. He played drums for the Bullet Boys. I believe he's in that Rock Vault show. They live on a compound, a ranch, if you will. We've heard about this ranch for quite some time. Joaquin, if you're watching, we're so thankful for the invite. So he told us he had an all-day and all-night party. I didn't know how this ranch worked, except I knew a lot of musicians lived there. I kind of expected there'd be a musician or two who didn't like us, but who knows? So, okay, you. But we got there. And it's in the middle of nowhere. I would say it was about a 40-minute ride, maybe. I don't know. But we were in the middle of nowhere, and we entered. The doors were all open, and people would just walk around. There's other people walking around, strange people. No one seems to know each other. There's a recording area, maybe, or a rehearsal area. It looks like the place is still under construction. I think we probably needed a hard hat. But so Ed Roman is a very famous guitar builder. He's passed away since. I believe his ghost is still there.
Yeah,
but
he still lives there, but as a ghost.
As a ghost, and he made the best replica guitars, and he was the last person to make the Johnny Ramone Mosrite guitars. When Mr. Mosrite, Semi Mosley, passed away, somehow Ed Roman made the deal. He was always making knockoffs, but he finally made a deal with the Ramones. The Johnny Ramone, and the last guitars were his. But he made Great White's guitars. He made so many guitars, and but he was an unhealthy guy, and he passed away. We went up to Joaquin's bedroom, and when we got up there, he told us that occasionally a blonde woman will walk by and go up the stairs, and he believes the blonde woman is Ed Roman's daughter, who also passed away at this compound. So somebody else owns it. I think we met him, and they were very nice. They invited us to move in. In fact, I think they were trying to keep us from leaving. It looked a little bit like one of those Scooby-Doo mysteries. If you could spend the night, you win. But so Joaquin invited us into the kitchen where he had prepared fresh paella. He said he was not able to get the ink out of the squid or the octopus to squirt all over it.
Ugh.
And Johnny, being the nice guy that he is, decided that he would partake in this food. Right, Johnny?
Yeah, they said there was food and they were gonna, we got food, come on over. And I'm like, we better hurry up before everyone eats it all.
Mm-hmm.
And not only did they not eat it, but it was still like, in its places. Like I had to shove my hand in a 600-degree oven to rip off part of a rib, which I believe might have been a rib, prehistoric. I'm not sure. But I tried a little bit of the paella, and I don't know what was happening there. But I still couldn't get the image out of my mind of the snuff film room upstairs. I'm pretty sure.
I left that out, Johnny. Why don't you explain?
Oh, he was just showing us around, and I asked him, I'm like, oh, I see you're still under construction. I'm like, how long has this been going on for? I figured a month. It's like about a year and a half. And then there's floors coming up. There's paint chips everywhere. It's cobweb. I thought it was somewhere you wouldn't live. And there was a door, and I'm like, what's in here? We opened the door, and it was about 12-inch thick door with padding on one side. And as it opened, it was really heavy. There was a huge bed with nothing on it, yellowed, old mattress, no window.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like someone built it in a room within a room to isolate, the screams of joy. And there was a dresser and a guitar and clothes in the closet and a red light. So someone was sort of living there, but I mean, I can only imagine the amount of HEPA filters you would need to survive the night.
It looked like maybe someone had died there.
And they filmed it and put it on the black market.
Right. It looked like also there might be like one of those dolls in there. What's that character called?
Yeah, like Abigail or something. I don't know.
Abigail or whatever.
Whatever was happening in there, I didn't understand it, and I tried to ask him, and he couldn't really tell me. It was frightening. And then she's like, you guys, if you want to move in,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, to this room. It's like, oh, it's going to be great up here once we get it finished.
He told us the Scorpions stayed there for weeks rehearsing. I find it hard to believe. The Scorpions that I think were there were the ones that will bite you.
I mean, where they lived above the kitchen was a little more put together. And I say a little more because I'm pretty sure I got a splinter in my hand and I probably need a tetanus shot. But it's more livable, the conditions. And
everyone was very nice, Johnny, but it's communal living. There's people coming and going and guests and tour groups and who George Lynch sometimes swimming naked in the pool. And
that's what I heard. Yes, they told us, right?
I hope the Bellas didn't hear that.
Well, I think it was a little bit like if Spawn Ranch had a few more walls.
Yes. Yeah, it had very... and we found out that every morning explosions occur.
And what are those explosions?
Drywall.
Yeah. So they're making drywall off into the distance. I think they get a truck and fall around. Yeah,
it's 200 people watching right now. We're getting so caught up. We're building a big audience for the Bellas, but so it was an interesting experience. It was nice of them to invite us.
They were very nice. It was very nice of them.
It was a little shocking though, and there's just stuff and food everywhere. And you reached into that oven and you pulled apart those ribs that were made out of God knows what animal. And it was a nice time, and I suppose we'll be going back next week, right?
I don't know about that, but we had to leave because we had reservations. But
yes.
It was very nice of them to invite us, and we wanted to see what it was all about. So we wanted to catch up. And Joaquin's very, very nice, and everybody there was, they were very nice. I just I didn't know if that was it for me. I didn't know if that there were. It
looked a little bit like Heaven's Gate cult members might live there.
Well, I was wearing the gym shoes.
Yeah, that's true. We went to the Silverton later because everywhere we went, our reservations were denied or things were closed. We needed to find a Christmas meal. We ended up at the Silverton. We waited an hour. I had some kind of filet and some kind of this, but the reason I did it was for the eggnog What did they call that thing?
It wasn't great.
No. Well, it was called like a eggnog creme brulee pudding or something. I don't know.
It was terrible.
It was strawberry ice cream with some goo and yeah. But anyway, that was how we spent our Christmas. Hopefully the Bellas had a much more exciting Christmas. I'm going to ask them in just a minute.
Okay,
But anyway, so that was how we spent the holidays. If you watch the videos, you can see how much fun we had spreading holiday cheer. I put a video up this morning of me scratching Christmas vacation lottery tickets. And you'll see that I win or don't win. You have to watch. But the people are so excited to see that. That was in Illinois that I recorded that. Johnny, you are going to have a very exclusive dinner tonight. You were always in demand. Tonight you will be at the Bootlegger Bistro, right?
Yeah, this guy's texting me now like he thinks I'm a party planner.
Right. How did that happen?
You know, he should know him, first of all. He thinks that somehow I know him, which you know him better than I do.
I've known him since I was in high school. Yeah.
Ron Mancuso.
Ron Mancuso of the band Beggars and Thieves. His family owns a restaurant here called the Bootlegger Bistro. Our friend Ryan, it's his wife's birthday, and she loves the Bootlegger Bistro. They don't take reservations for more than 6. So Ryan wanted Johnny to get him a reservation. Johnny's only talked to Ron a couple times. So I said I will ask him, and when we set it up, he gave you guys the Vegas room, which is a very exclusive separate room where only the big shots get to go. And have you decided what you're going to have?
Well, first they changed the number to 8 or to 9. Then it was 9.
Right.
Then Jill messages us earlier. She wanted a few more. We said it's probably going to be fine because they're giving us a room. Evidently, they don't talk to each other, being a married couple and having I think the birthday lasts a month with women. So they're on the 1-month birthday. And now 20 minutes before I'm about to leave, he said, hey, if you meet us 2 bootleggers, which he's got to be half in the bag, will you tell them it's going to be 11 people, not 9, which is what she asked earlier. You think they would speak to each other about this. And I am not a party planner.
Yeah.
It's right down the street for me. So
it's literally across the street.
But it's like, you know, I told her it's probably fine. You know, they're putting us in a separate room. We get there, we'll do that. What, am I supposed to get there early and lay it out?
They can add take chairs. It's a big room. It looks like one of those rooms where Lando Calrissian and Darth Vader are looking to set up Han Solo. There's a very long table, and you'll recognize it.
If it's your wife's party, shouldn't you be there doing that? And why are you making reservations 2 days before the birthday?
That's why we're not married, Johnny.
Listen, these people out here, it's just they want everything when they want it. And it's like, they got this. So it's like, just give me whatever. Bring her, clean her, and bring her to me. Oh, that's something different. But still, yeah, it's ridiculous. So I'm gonna eat so many fried clams, baked clams.
Yes, but did you decide on what to have?
It was either going to be the cheese ravioli, but which I'm trying to lay off of because I'm trying to lose 10 pounds, with marinara sauce, or the bolognese I heard was good. And I'll probably just load up on bread. I got to really slow down with the eating.
Will you be drinking tonight?
If I do, this will be like number 8 in a row. I don't feel. I mean, I feel like I don't feel good. Like every day I wake up, it's like, ugh. It's like,
Johnny, you got to see the young ladies just listening to your nonsense. Look at them. You're listening to middle-aged men complain, but don't worry.
Don't let them on that ranch. They'll never leave.
No, yeah, you guys.
They'll sacrifice the whole band. Yeah.
I hope your devices are plugged in though, so your battery doesn't die. But we'll bring you back in just a minute. The Bellas
I can go if you want to do this. I could just.
No, hold on, Johnny. There's 200 people watching, and there's a lot. I want to get to some of these people's comments, and so some of them are very nice. John has very nice words. Ronnie K. Here, Skylar, Sean. Look what the cat dragged in. Indie Cult is here. Janice is here. Janice is a new fan of the show, and she wants to become a Patreon. All you have to do is click the link in the description. You get to watch the interviews first and ask questions. And she wants to purchase one of my Funko Pops, which we'll have to get some new ones. We did that for a charity, but there will be some new ones. Everyone's excited. A lot of new people watching as well. Here's Headspace. Here's Georgia. Here's Brian. Listen, I also want to make sure that here's the great Dave, Balls. There's Larry, Mark. So many great people. Mike in Tampa's already taken his tree down. Mine's going to come down around March. I'm glad to see everybody. Here's Stephen Michaels. And all right, I'm trying to get around all these great comments. People enjoyed my Lemmy stories. Jason points out that he was walking around in Vegas last week and he saw Steve Stevens at Caesar's Palace. And he's asking if he lives there or maybe he was working there. Well, listen, during the holiday season, maybe Steve Stevens takes a job at Dillard's in the ladies department helping out. I don't know. But I do know that he and his wife, Josie Pearl, who Johnny, you were quite friendly with back in Illinois. She, I don't know if she's Pearl anymore. I think that's when she was married to Jizzy Pearl.
That's right.
But I feel inappropriate saying these things with the Bellas watching. Indie Cult, thank you for the super chat. He would like to know the hardest Rat song to play. Good question. Johnny Monaco?
Oh, like technically hardest? I don't know. They're all about the same. I mean, it's not that they're hard songs to play. It's just, the solos and the phrasing and having it in your hands to play like that kind of thing just takes, a lifetime of practice. But maybe lay it down because you got to stretch, I cheat on it a little bit. I don't really do it the right way. But there's a lot of stretching going on in that song. Other than that, really, I don't think there's any. The probably difficult ones are the ones I don't know yet. So,
Indie Cult also another super chat. I think he said this is for the listening party of She Said She Found Her Soulmate. That's your upcoming solo record, Johnny. Will it be out before the end of the year?
I'm not going to come on this show anymore. I'm going to live on that ranch and stick my hands into 600-degree ovens for lunch and maybe get molested by a ghost.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people saying hello to the Bellas already, and I would like to remind everybody that these are upstanding, fine young people, and let's not act like we've never seen a woman before.
Well, it's so nice that they're standing there waiting too. That's so polite,
Yeah, well, they're smart. They're working their business, and
they know
this is doing. A rebel from the waist down. He's offering super.
This is such an X-rated audience.
I know. Bill Gazzari's Ghost is playing in Culver City Friday night. Foxy Chicks will be there. As you know, Bill Gazzari was famous for saying we've got some foxy chicks.
Yeah. The kids don't know that anymore. They think they're actually talking about an animal.
Some people did not know you were in LA Guns. They might have missed that time.
Yeah. Well, it was a long and grueling 3 months.
Sam, thank you for the euros. Much appreciated. And let's see. All right. There's so much to get through. And Stephen Michael said Ed Roman was the best guy to watch yell at his employees. Well, his ghost is presently yelling at a bunch of musicians living at a commune. I think, yes, I think he did Kiss Guitars. Okay. I'm just really trying to get through everybody. Johnny, Thailand is waiting for you. So that's
what does that even mean? What does that mean?
Surely Thailand waits for you. I don't know. Mr. Malou. I think Mr. Malou was inviting you.
Implying some kind of underage sex thing. Is that what they're implying?
Please, ladies are here. I've checked all their IDs, by the way. They are all of legal age. So don't.
Well, I've never been to Thailand because that sounds like a real far plane ride. It was hard enough to get back from Chicago.
Yeah, I wouldn't go. Billy says hello from Sweden.
Okay.
It's cold in Sweden right now. A lot of people enjoyed Johnny's suit that you wore in the Christmas video, powder blue leisure suit. It was great.
Yeah, I thought I was wearing it because it was nice for Christmas. Everyone made fun of me. They thought I was there to, the water was going to shoot out of my flower and it was going to, bang was going to come out of a gun.
They thought it was your nod to cousin Eddie.
Right. Harpo Marx is here. Ha ha. Let him do something. Watch, he's going to do something crazy.
Yeah, well, now, Johnny, I would love to just sit here and talk about the past, but we are on our way to Hollywood, California. You will be playing at the world famous Whiskey A Go Go. Travel conditions are insane. Southwest Airlines, it may not make it through the week. You may not get home.
It's going to be a nightmare.
I'm going to Universal Studios Hollywood for New Year's Eve. If you get stuck, you can come join us.
Well, I won't be able. The whole day is going to be wrecked because I got to wait and I got to come home at night. By the time I get home, it's going to be everything's over. So, I'm not going to the ranch.
Well,
I'm going to be sitting here by myself.
Go live. But Johnny, Indie Cold has another question. Thank goodness. There Goes My Heart or Suicide? I think he's asking, which you would commit or which you,
Funny. I like Suicide. That's a deep cut. But I mean, There Goes My Heart is like the pristine pop kind of song, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think, in general, people would say There Goes My Heart. But for me, I like Suicide. I don't know. It's a little deep.
It sounds like the theme song from MASH. All right. So let's see here. Someone else is saying if we're talking about Enough's Enough songs, he likes There Goes My Heart.
I'm in that video.
The There Goes My Heart video?
Yeah, and much like Brent Woods, I had my shirt off. So
I noticed that there's a picture of Enough's Enough where you guys are all naked.
Oh, yeah. No, that's something different. I don't know why.
Were you all naked in the same room, or was that Photoshop?
No, it was real. And I tried to cover up down, I held my hand like down there just because I don't know why they want to do it. They think it's, this is going to be in a time capsule. We'll be, in the amber, naked forever. And I put my hand over there or down there. And then when you look at the thing real close, like my fingers kind of like a little bit like that. So you know what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So
So people can Google that. I tried to find it to pull it up, but I was having trouble. Pat Michael says he just read that Johnny is joining Stryper. There's always rumors out and about.
They're just very nice. I think they sense that they need to help me. So they invite me there. I'm just surprised my tail and horns didn't pop up when we were doing the middle of karaoke.
Well, yes, I sort of felt the same. But it was very nice of them, and it was fun. It was, I didn't know what to expect.
They're very nice people.
Yeah.
I gotta get ready. I gotta go to this stupid.
Yeah. Now, so Johnny, so you're getting ready to go to. That's a nice shirt you have on.
I'll stop it.
Well, it is. I think it's a nice shirt.
It kind of, but I mean, they don't fit me anymore because, I went to the doctor and they said I weighed 138, which is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And she looked at me and she goes, I went, ugh. And she goes, low, huh? And I said, no. It's high. Highest it's ever been. And then she rolled her eyes and walked away from me.
What time are you getting to the whiskey on Friday? That's a very good question.
Me? I don't know.
Sound check is around 3 in the afternoon. I know that much. Some people would like to see you maybe a bit pop in again later. Johnny, maybe you can join us. I don't know. Let us know. I don't know.
I got to see how this thing goes. I don't know what I'm dealing with. It might be loud in there. Mm-hmm. I'm probably going to be like, celebrating and all happy. And
I think you're going to be drunk.
I don't know, man. I got to slow down. I woke up like 3 times last night and the nights before. I'm not sleeping through the night. I think it's because of the drinking. Mm-hmm. I don't really normally drink like that.
Oh, hold on. Indie Cult is here. He says he hopes that I have a happy new year and thank God Mr. Drummond called the authorities. That is true.
Hilarious.
He created a thing. I guarantee you the Bellas have no idea who Mr. Drummond is.
They do. They'll probably they can look it up on their phones.
I'll tell you, the kids are being very, I call them kids, they're grown women, but they're being very patient. They're just sitting there nice and ready to handle the media. The drummer,
I feel bad.
The drummer Jules, she's the spokesperson for this interview. She's gonna handle things. It's very rare that you have the drummer be the spokesperson.
Right. I know. Usually that's not the case.
It doesn't involve counting. They're not usually that up for the occasion.
Counting if we're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's nice that they're hanging out waiting. I feel bad that we're making them wait though. So maybe you should get them on there.
Yes, well, Yes.
vaping or something. The kids past time, they know how to do it now. They just vape and, play on their phone. What they play, Angry Birds? I don't know what they do.
I think Angry Birds is outdated.
These people are looking at me on their balcony.
All right, Johnny.
Ass on the balcony and smokes all day.
Johnny, you and I are leaving on Friday morning.
Yeah.
And we're going to LA.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be playing the world famous Whiskey A Go Go. The final show of the year, obviously, New Year's Eve.
Oh, if I make it.
Rocking New Year's Eve. And then January kicks off the dates with Vince Neil among other things. And
something.
Yeah, and maybe the Bellas can come out. Maybe we'll play somewhere close enough where they can see.
Where are they from? Pennsylvania?
They're from New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay.
Well, we're going to be close-ish to New Jersey.
We are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Top secret.
All right. I thought it was the other ones, the vampire kids. I thought that was them.
Oh, that was What was the name? That was Liliac.
Yeah, the vampires.
Yeah, they were supposed to come on. I think I forgot about it, but I'll get
from Transylvania. Yeah.
Yes, literally.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
All right, Johnny. Enjoy the birthday dinner. Let me know if there's any problems. If you need me to call ahead, make any plans. I know there's a lot of white people problems involved.
It's ridiculous. So ridiculous. I don't know how I got put in charge of this. They should have just invited me out and took care of everything.
Are they going to make you perform?
I mean, I don't know. I doubt it. I hope not.
Probably.
I'm still like tired from drinking all week.
Well, yeah, I
might be dehydrated.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Johnny.
Yeah. Have a good time. Thanks.
Check in. Yeah. Everyone says they'd like to see you drive, but we'll see what happens. All right, Johnny.
All right. Yeah. If you. Okay. All right. See ya.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, there goes Johnny. All right, now let's talk about the Bellas, because that's what you've all been waiting for. 200 people want to see the Bellas instead of me and Johnny talk about the usual nonsense. I'm having a bad hair day today, I think. I need a haircut. Johnny is my barber, but we haven't been able to do that lately. So the Bellas, okay, so I was in Atlantic City, New Jersey for a thing called the Orange Loop Festival. And this was supposed to be this massive festival. It sounded like a terrible idea all along. It was going to be, first day was going to be cover bands. The next day was going to be your usual kind of hard rock bands, Doro Pesh, Slaughter, Stephen Pearcy. And then the next day was going to be some more of those type of bands. But on the day that Pearcy played, the headliners were supposed to be Hinder and Chevelle. I can tell you that after Stephen played, most people headed for the door. I know those are popular bands, but not at this festival. The next day, Stone Temple Pilots, which I would never see. I saw Stone Temple Pilots with Scott Weiland. They headlined. LA Guns played on a tiny little stage next to midget wrestling. What happened is that I believe they had a hard time selling tickets and they needed a smaller place. So it was supposed to be a big outdoor festival on multiple stages. It ended up moving into an abandoned house of blues. And it was interesting. But we got through it. It was not widely attended. They said it was moved inside due to weather conditions. The weather was fine. It never rained. So you can watch that tour. I recommend you do Atlantic City. Watch all of them. And but anyway, so at the end of the night, when you're a tour manager, you go out and you collect the money and the merchandise, and that's a big part of the job. And so when I went out, I saw a family, essentially online buying Stephen Pearcy merchandise. At most shows, we do an after-show meet and greet. Stephen likes to meet fans, and we keep that meet and greet very affordable. But at the same time, if we see young people, kids, we'll bring them in for free, especially people who are dressed in the vein of that 80s rock music. And the rat thing. Sometimes you see people with the Stephen sort of rat hair look. And so the Bellas, I didn't know they were a band at the time, but I saw them and their one of their fathers. Two of them are sisters, I believe. Yeah, okay, good. I'm looking down to see if they nod. And so there was 3 Bellas at this event and Dad. And so I asked them if first I was just going to go get the stuff they purchased signed by Stephen, but I thought maybe they would like to come back and meet him themselves. And like I said, Stephen's really good with kids. Kids also love Stephen. Not that these are kids; these are young adults. But But anyway, so I brought them back, and they got to meet Steven, and because they told me that in their band, the Bellas, they also play Rat songs, and they had cool Rat shirts. And so they play a couple of Rat cover songs, and I thought it would be fun to bring them back. And then they got to appear on the show, and I told them that I would have them on here when the tour diary comes out. That tour diary was about 2 million years ago. It takes me a while to catch up. So anyway, the Bellas are here. There's a link to their Instagram in the description. You guys should go on there, and you should follow them. They have a new single called Cherry Lips. And I'll tell you, Bellas is like a young Ramones and Kiss and all the things that I like. And, maybe it's a little similar to the Donnas and things like that. Anyway, enough of me talking about them. Let's have them talk about themselves. Welcome, Bellas.
Hi.
All right. I'm sorry you guys had to put up with all that nonsense.
It's okay.
Hope we didn't. What I like about young people like yourselves is that you're not jaded by the music industry yet. You probably don't hate it, and you probably don't hate all the other bands, and you're not angry like me and Johnny. Okay, so listen. First of all, Jewel is right there in the center. She has the white on, and Jewel is the drummer. And I said it's very rare to have a drummer speak, but at least you can, and you can count, so that's a good thing. Drummers get teased a lot. Okay, so and Jewel is 18. You are the youngest, also, Jewel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Sophia is the bass player. She's 19. Where's Sophia?
Hi.
Okay, Sophia, I don't think we met, did we?
No, I wasn't there that night, but nice to meet you.
You were the one who was absent. They left without
the
you.
missing Bella, yeah.
Okay, and then Abby's 19, and she's the singer. And
Hi.
I met Abby. I know that. And then Izzy, you're 21. You're the guitar player. You are you're the elder Bella.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now who are the sisters in the band? It's the two of you,
Us
right?
two, yeah.
So I find it fascinating about how young bands come about these days, because it's a different thing. When I was a kid, if you want to learn how to play music, you went and bought this stupid Mel Bay book, and you went to a guy who taught you how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb, and it never felt like you were going to be able to rock or certainly have any fun. And nowadays, they've got, you can go on YouTube and learn, and they have School of Rock and things. Were you guys involved in that?
No.
No. So you didn't do any of those.
Yeah.
Well, they don't. Listen, I don't want to bash it, but sometimes those places don't really teach the things that bands need to know. Mm-hmm. I've seen so many of these School of Rock kids not know not to cup your microphone or put your mic in the monitors, and also just how to control the stage and have a good a stage rap. And so, I'm sure there's some people helping you guys, but for 4 independent young people, you guys are sort of you've thrown yourself out there. How long have the Bellas been around?
I believe about 4 years now.
4 or 5
Yeah.
years.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, with COVID, it kind of made us go on hiatus, but yeah, around that.
Yeah, that COVID slows everybody down.
Mm-hmm.
But so, was the idea always to be to do covers, or would you always know you were going to do originals too?
Well, we kind of came about on accident. So I think originally we just kind of threw it all together and we just had some covers. But now that we've been around for a while, we definitely wanted to go further. And so now we see originals in our future. But when we first started, we didn't see that at all. We were just kind of like, okay, we got to throw this together. Let's get some covers down and let's just do it.
I gotta ask. I'm thinking there's some good parenting, but I could be wrong. Where do your influences come from?
Well, it definitely started with our parents. Our dad used to play, at least for us too. He would always play us songs in the car, ranging from like the Beach Boys to Pantera to like hair metal, all kinds of stuff. But we definitely did the deep diving ourselves, and we became interested in it on our own, so we kind of took it further.
Yeah, it seems to be when I was your age, younger. I always hated dread the day I was going to say that, but I looked for music that came before me, and now it's so easy to research and you can find something. And in some ways, these bands are your own, because not everyone your age is a fan of what we call hair metal. and so you guys have kind of taken it on your own. And what I notice is that everyone sort of picks their favorite member of these bands, and it's somebody that you wouldn't expect. Warren DeMartini or Izzy Stradlin are more popular now with young people, I think, than they were when they were actually out and about. So yeah, you guys get to discover music in your own way, which I think is great, because I have friends who are younger, and I'm surprised at what they find. Oh, I love this band. I think I was there. That band didn't even matter. But a lot of bands are getting a second chance. So, okay, so you guys are out and about and you're playing. You have a show coming up. You were supposed to play with Kicks. You were going to open for Kicks in New Jersey. Their drummer suffered a heart condition, and so that show was canceled. I know it's a bummer. We're lucky that he is okay. Let's get shows scheduled. So tell me when that show is.
It's on February 24th, so it's a Friday.
Okay, and what's the venue?
It's at the Starland Ballroom in Sayreville, New Jersey.
Yeah, that's like the home of Bon Jovi, Sayreville, New Jersey, and they used to play that Starland Ballroom all the time. And, so that's a cool historic place. Have you guys played there before?
No, we haven't. This is probably the biggest venue we've played so far.
Yeah, but you played some cool ones. Did you play the Stone Pony?
Yeah, we've played that a few times.
And that's the home of Bruce Springsteen and Southside Johnny and many others. So you guys are doing it on the East Coast. I think that's kind of cool. I sometimes feel like LA exhausts everything. You guys have a fresh a take on it. Is there a lot of competition? There are a lot of young bands out there?
There's definitely a few.
Yeah, there's definitely a few bands, but none that do what we do.
No one
They're
like us.
Yeah.
We're the only one in our genre, kind of.
Yeah, well, it is an original, I don't want to call it a gimmick, but it is an original idea that you guys are all under 21, and you're listening to music that came out probably 30 and 40 years ago. And it's fun to see it. Like I said, some of my favorite bands, Ramones, my favorite band, Heartbreakers, these type of things. And you guys kind of play that. Obviously, you're each a Bella, and that's a sort of Ramones nod, obviously.
Yeah.
And, yeah, and it's fun that you guys have discovered Rat. What are the Rat songs you guys play?
We play I'm Insane, Sweet Cheater, and recently we started toying around with Lack of Communication.
It's funny, the first two, really early, early stuff. I'm Insane, something stellar, but those are the heavy ones. You play kind of the I call those the punk Rat songs. Those are the fun ones. So, okay, let's get to know each of you. So let's start with you, Jewel, because so where did you learn to play the drums?
So actually, I've always kind of just like gravitated towards drums since I was little. Us three, when we were younger, we would always play the video game Rock Band on the Wii, and I always was the one who just hop on drums. But I kind of strayed away from it, and when I was in elementary school, I was like, you know what, I want to try playing clarinet, and that totally wasn't for me. And so by the time I was in 6th grade, I was like, no, I need to start playing drums. So I started taking lessons, and I've stuck with it ever since.
Yeah, okay, nice. And so what about you, Sophia?
I started as a guitar player. My dad's kind of like a multifaceted musician, so I always had the instruments laying around. So it was kind of just pick one, but I kind of was horrible at guitar, so I picked up the bass instead. I'm just kidding, but I fell in love with the bass. It clicked I just enjoy it so much more. I really think the bass is an awesome instrument. So I've been playing bass for around almost 3.5, 4 years now, but I've played guitar and other instruments for a couple years before that, kind of my whole life.
Who were your influences?
They're from literally everywhere. I mean, I could talk about, I like Peter Steele's playing, Typo Negative. I have a lot of different influences. Of course, I love to play Gene's bass lines and Kiss stuff. I play a Warlock bass. That's because of Nikki Sixx, of course. But I have influences from literally every genre. I like Andy Rourke from the Smiths too. Everywhere.
Nice. That's the way to be. You got to mix it up a little bit. All right. How about you, Abby? Tell me a little bit about when you started singing and influences.
So I've been a singer like really ever since I was a little girl. I would just kind of mess around with it. I had a karaoke machine and like a clay microphone, and I would just, dance around my basement singing just random songs. And then I would also play rock band with them, and it was kind of just always like, oh, give Abby the mic. She's a singer. It's, we would all kind of switch positions, but for the most part it'd be, her on the drums, me singing, like all that. And then throughout middle school, I did theater, and I was more so an actress rather than a singer. And when I'd be offered up solos, I'd be like, no, I'm so scared. I'm just going to stick to acting and talking. And then high school came along, and we got offered up this gig, and we just kind of messed around with it, and it became a real thing. And now I'm like, oh, I'm always going to sing and I'm never going to act again. But yeah, and then I in the past few years I started taking vocal lessons to just really better myself, and it's been just going good ever since, and I'm just really committed to singing.
Nice.
But
What about your influences?
my influences, definitely stage presence wise, a lot of Kiss, but like vocally wise, Stephen Pearcy, Paul Stanley, Vince Neil, Alice Cooper. I've really liked them for a long time. I've been listening to all their stuff, and I just think that my voice fits really well with them, and I can almost like not sing exactly like them, but my vocal range is similar to theirs, so I take a lot of influence from them.
Yeah, well, you can't go wrong with those choices. Okay, Izzy, how about you?
I guess I started around the same time that Jules started. I always kind of knew that I wanted to play guitar, but I would say at the beginning I kind of went through like some rough patches. Like I just really didn't see myself getting that much better. So I took kind of like a 2-year break, and then I was like, okay, maybe I'll come back to it. And I came back, and now I go to lessons again, and I'm happy with the lessons. So,
Yeah, favorite guitar players?
My favorite guitar player is definitely Robin Crosby. I also like Ace Frehley. He's pretty cool. Kind of like that vein, I guess.
Yeah, I think those are good choices. I like that, like I said, you guys get to discover these bands how you want to. So when I was a kid, Robin was sort of pushed aside, and Warren DeMartini was the guy. And I always sort of liked the other guys a little bit more as well. Some of the ones who didn't get all the attention. So I think it's cool that those are your influences. I also loved Ace. Sometimes it's a matter of when you're learning how to play, you want to believe that you can do it. And when the Ramones saw the New York Dolls, they said, we can do this. I can play like that. And when I saw the Ramones, I thought that, and went out and bought a guitar, and was fortunate to know Johnny Ramone and be able to share all my stories about how much he influenced me. And so sometimes finding people that are obtainable is a good thing. Listen, if you wanted to be Yngwie Malmsteen, that's okay too. But it's much cooler to be a rock and roller like you guys are. Let's take a look at some of the audience questions, and hopefully they're not all ridiculous. Billy says he wants to wish you girls, these girls all the luck in the world. Okay.
Thank
you.
you.
And Indie Cult is recommending that you guys listen to the record Overrated by Johnny Monaco. And so, all right, the ladies might try it. George is saying the ladies are awesome. Chris is pointing out that, so Sophie, are you wearing a Black Flag sweater?
Yes, I am.
Very nice. Is it a Christmas sweater or just a...
It's like it's just like I don't know. It's printed on. I bought it from this like shop. I think it's pretty cool. I like Black Flag.
Yeah, me too. That's a cool one. We had the bass player for Black Flag on the show.
Really?
You might want to check it out. It's pretty interesting. And because it's she was a young lady. When she joined Black Flag, she was probably 18 years old. Her name's Kira Rossler. And it's a fascinating interview. And I'm trying to think of I'm trying to be a gentleman, but she tells a story about how she hooked up with Joan Jett when she was a young person. And it's a fascinating story. Let's see here. Let's see, trying to get to everybody's people. Some people have heard your Motley Crue covers. We've got to build for you guys. We got to up the numbers. So we need people to go to Instagram and go to YouTube. You should be subscribe. And look, you get to follow the band from the beginning. Now, you guys aren't going to break up in a week or two, are you?
No.
All right, because we're investing here, and we want to make sure that. Sorry, I'm laughing at people's comments. Yeah, we're Laura pointing out that the Bellas have great stage presence. I agree.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see. All right, so everybody's got their comments. So now everyone's out of school now, right? And so what? Do you have to work? What's going on? What are you guys doing to get by?
Sophia works, and Izzy, me, and Abby take some classes at college.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, that's good. Let's see. Hold on. All right, Indie Cult's got $5 that I intend to share with you, ladies. It's hard out there. They want to know if you like the Beatles or the Stones.
I'm gonna have to say Beatles.
Yeah, Beatles. Yeah.
I believe the correct answer is the Beatles. In my older years, I think the Stones are cool, and the reason why it's a tough argument is the Beatles didn't tour. The Stones, as much. The Stones have toured and still are touring and still great. So it's different things. You can't go wrong with either. But I think the Beatles is such an influence. So, all right, let's see. Laura pointing out that Izzy has a bit of a Joan Jett vibe.
Thank you.
Here's a good question from Kay Moore. Do you guys like L7?
I don't listen to them that much, but I know that's kind of around around like our vibe. Obviously, like our name, the Bellas, is like half Ramones, half like Donnas, and they're kind of in the same vein as like the Donnas and stuff like that. So yeah, they're cool. Yeah,
I liked L7. I know they're back doing a reunion thing. Okay. Sometimes I read people's questions and then I have to decide if it's serious or if it's offensive. Sometimes I have to read them twice. Usually when you guys aren't here, I just let in all the idiots. Randall says that Kier Russell was the best interview on Waste Some Time with Jason Green. So that's good. That was a smaller one. I like to have on like my punk influences as well. I've kind of gotten the niche of sort of the hair metal guys, but we've had on some crazy people, including Cheetah Chrome from the Dead Boys. So you guys all live in Jersey, right?
Yeah.
And what is life like in Jersey these days?
Cold.
Yeah.
When you live on the East Coast, you know where people live by the Turnpike exit. That's a big Jersey thing. What's your exit? Yeah. And so, cold. Is it snowing?
No, it's not. But it snowed like a week or two ago.
Literally right around Christmas.
A few days before.
It does not snow here in Las Vegas unless you go to the Winter Carnival, which was a ridiculous indoor attraction. Okay, so the song, hold on. Indie Cult again at $2, which I plan on sharing with you guys. He says, is your music available on Apple?
Yeah.
Okay, so right now there's a single, Cherry Lips, right? And so people where can they get it?
It's on all platforms, so you can find it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music.
This is the beginning of the Bellas. So they have a single, which is what they're promoting, Cherry Lips. They have some live shows, and then they have the cover sets. More music coming. Is it easy in New Jersey? Are there a lot of places you can go to record?
I'd say there's a good amount. I mean, we usually go to the same place, but yeah, Bulletproof. But yeah, I don't think we're necessarily lacking in it. We don't have to trek very far to go and do that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Good. But then also you could probably do a lot at home nowadays, and so you guys got to we got to get all that. Okay. Contestor 7. I think I said that right. He just liked you guys on Facebook. Like most kids, though, you don't mind I call you kids, do you? You believe me, you don't want to get old. enjoy youth. But if Facebook is not the big thing with the kids. No, the Facebook is for old people like my viewers and myself. So Instagram, I think, is the place to go. What about TikTok? Are you on the TikTok?
No, we're not.
You guys are too sophisticated for that. Anyway, so Instagram, no website or anything yet, right?
No,
not
we're hoping
yet.
to set one up soon, though. We've been talking about it a little bit, but not yet.
Do you guys have a stage, Mom?
Sort of.
Yeah. Is there somebody who says you guys got to get in the studio and it's time to get serious?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say all of our parents are
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Mhm.
They really like going to see us perform and stuff like that, so they help keep us on track sometimes.
I think parents live vicariously through their children, and
Yeah.
they want to see you guys succeed. And one day maybe you guys will open for Rat, and they'll get good tickets. It's that kind of thing. And like I said, I think we're going to be fairly close to you guys. A show with Stephen Piercy and Vince Neil, and you guys come and be my guests. And,
That'd be
Oh,
awesome.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I'll tell you all that because I don't know if it's officially announced or all that things. Of course, the Misfits are from New Jersey. So the pride of Lodi, New Jersey, the Misfits. So do you guys like the Misfits?
Of course.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, that's Laura points out it's a stage dad in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone thinks you guys should have a TikTok. You probably should. I mean, I
Yeah.
should have one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I know we probably don't want to spend our days scrolling, but Chris is wishing you success. The other
Thank
Chris,
you.
the other Chris has a good question. How did you guys meet?
Oh, that's an
Oh,
interesting
yeah.
story.
Yeah.
That is.
So obviously us three were all related, so we've all kind of
Since
been
birth.
pretty much since birth we've all just been hanging around. And our first bass player was also our cousin, but she went off to the Marines, so we were in need of a new bass player. And weirdly enough, we just on a whim decided to go on band mix, and we found Sophia, and she had listed all of these bands as her influences, and it was exactly like us. It was like Kiss, Ramones, Sweet, that kind of thing. So I just decided to take the chance, and I DM'd her on Instagram, and I was like, would you be interested in joining our band? Like, we're in New Jersey and we play the same kind of music, and we've all just been together since.
Nice. Let's see how it works out. You guys, I tell people all the time the key of being successful in anything is you got to follow through and keep going. When I started this YouTube channel, a lot of people said, it's too late to start a YouTube channel, or it's already been done, or no one's going to watch. And now here we are, a couple million views later, but you have to do it, and it's not always going to be great. I'm sure you guys are going to look back at your first performance and go, "Oh my God, I can't believe we did that."
Yeah.
But you don't get anywhere unless you stay at it, and that's why you guys got to keep cranking it out. And listen, being young ladies, you have a little bit of a gimmick. That's a good thing. But then at the end of the day, you want to make sure you have fun songs and topics. What is your fan base like right now?
Honestly, it's probably like the biggest online. We get a lot of likes from people like all around, from like all walks of life. There's young people who are also into the hair metal stuff, and then there's also a lot of people who lived through that. So that definitely helps. Locally, we have like a few people that we'll sometimes see, but a lot of the time we're like all around. So we're still kind of building up like a solid fan base right now.
Yeah, okay, well, that's good. And hopefully we're going to build it more. Here's Leo. And Leo says, wishing the Bellas lots of luck. I found their YouTube channel, so I'll listen to their music later. Thanks for having them on, Jason, which is what's great about having different people on and exposing you guys to a new audience. We got to try to get their Instagram up today. So you guys go and like them. Let's see here. Okay, I got to scroll through everything. Like now, people talking about my cat. Here's a good question. Favorite Kiss song?
Oh,
We all have the
yes,
same one.
Strutter.
Strutter. Well, Yeah, and you guys cover Strutter as well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
like
like
as
the-
a bass player, that's like my favorite song to
Yeah.
play.
As a
Mhm.
singer, it's my favorite song to sing.
Yeah, it's kind of like become a staple song. Like we
Yeah.
definitely try to like insert it in a lot of our concerts, if not like all of them. Like we really like to play that song.
Yeah, like the first time we played with Sophia, we were like, oh, like, you know, Strutter, and she was like, no way, I learned that song last week. So it's kind of become like a staple.
We
Yeah.
played that song way back with our other bass player, so it's been in our band for a long time.
Hmm.
Did you guys have a chance to see Kiss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was awesome.
Yeah, they're
I-
still amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw them on the farewell tour, which was in 2000,
Mhm.
22 years ago. First farewell.
And which one?
I also saw Ozzy Osbourne on the No More Tours farewell tour. That was 1992. But anyway, but you're lucky that you guys get to see them because a lot of people are going to miss out on these
Mhm,
bands when
yeah.
they're gone. Okay,
Mhm.
let's see. Kyle's fun time, sending love and support to you from the some families that you can read there. I'm assuming these are people you know, so we'll put them on there. Pat Michaels says, I just added Cherry Lips to my radio station playlist, audience of about 30,000. How about that?
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. Well, we need more of that. We need people to support the youth. Without the youth, we're screwed. What I like about you guys, I like a lot of things about you guys, but we're in a kind of what they would call a woke time, you know, and a lot of people, what do they call you kids? Generation Z? Is that what you guys are?
Mhm.
Yeah. So you guys kind of get a bad rap, your generation, for everyone being so.
Yeah.
Well, what I like is that you guys play songs that are sort of, risque maybe, and it doesn't make you guys shy away from having fun. Cherry Lips is a prime example. You know, you guys are still keeping the fun in music. People can still be cool and not
Yeah.
just politically correct.
Yeah, like we like to just keep that 80s vibe, just like having a rock and roll party and just having
Yeah.
fun.
We do what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bringing back
right,
that
we do.
song.
Your parents probably think you guys are all old souls anyway.
Probably.
Yeah.
And okay, Kyle's pointing out that you, Isabella and Julia are actually her cousins. Okay, or his cousins. Right.
Hi, Kyle.
There's a big Bella audience, and okay, this is a tough question. Indie Cult wants to know what each of your favorite songs are. That's a tough one. I don't think I can.
Oh, goodness.
Oh man, that's tough.
Let's go
Honestly,
first.
we could just go down the line.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, I might have to stick with Strutter just because it reminds me of a really good time in our life, and it just brings back it just always has happy memories surrounding it. But I also really like a tough second would probably be Poison by Alice Cooper.
Oh yeah.
I love that song.
I love that song.
That song has survived. So many young people I know love that song, and it's survived. Good,
And,
both good choices.
Honorable mention is Dance by Rat.
Yeah,
I like the vibe of that song too.
We've got to get dance back into the set list, guys. You and I,
Yeah.
we all have to push Steven to do it. We've talked about it. He has a Vegas show that he's working on. I can't say too much about it, but where he would play 16 Rat songs. They were all videos and all hits, and dance is one of them. You know, I think when you're a younger singer, you don't realize, especially in these guys' cases with the high songs, that you're going to have to sing this again. I don't think Stephen Pearcy realized, or Bo Hill, who produced those records, that 30 years from now, I'll have to try to sing them again. It's not easy. And dance is definitely a high one. People agreeing with your choices. A lot of people like your choices. All right, let's go down the line. Jewel, do you have a favorite?
Gun to my head, I would have to say You're Crazy by Guns N' Roses. I really like that song. But honestly, like you could literally pick out of a hat like any Rat song from the EP to Detonator, and I love Izzy and I shuffle those playlists all day long. Like they're all just really great.
Yeah, I agree. You can't go wrong. Okay, Izzy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have to like somewhat agree with Jewel on that. I really like You Think You're Tough. That's a good one. I like I Want It All by Rad.
Mhm.
That's a good one. We've been listening to Dirty Looks lately. She's
Oh,
wearing the
yeah.
shirt. So I like Cool from the Wire. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh Ruby. We kind of toyed around with that one.
Yeah.
So I'm wearing a Kick shirt. I like Kicks too.
Oh, yeah.
So
Nice.
you know.
Yeah, you guys are representing it. That's what's so great, that you guys get to play with Kicks. What a cool option. Okay, let's see. Sophia.
Maybe top 3 would be Sabracadabra, Black Sabbath, Oh I Love Her So, Ramones, and Love Overload by Tiger Tails. I'm trying to get them to cover that.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you guys have a lot of good choices, and yeah, and people are excited by Dirty Looks. It's not one you hear every day. I enjoy Dirty Looks as well. Let's see here. Trying to get through all of these things. There's only like 1 or 2 that I would say are off color at this point. So, someone says you guys need some Faster Pussycat in there. Go
Yes.
I like Faster
Yes, we
Pussycat.
love Faster Pussycat.
And Chris has a good question. He usually doesn't. I usually have to block him, but today he's good, and he wants to know: are the songs written during rehearsals or individually?
So far it's kind of been like in pairs. Like Izzy and I have been mostly like working on it, but we're trying to branch out and like really get all of them written like in a rehearsal and like have a whole big collab. Oh, I'm sorry.
Earthquake there apparently in New Jersey.
But yeah, so far like with Cherry Lips, that was Izzy and I primarily, but with these next originals, we're trying to get all of us to have a hand in it, because I think once you have like everyone's influence in it, it really starts to feel like the whole band has had an input, and it really starts to sound like this is the BELLAS sound, you know?
Well, it seems like you guys are also on the same track. Most of your influences are very similar, and then if one of you's into something different, you expose the other ones, and so it seems like that's going to work well for you guys. Like I said earlier, you got to stay with it, though. The goal is you can't give up. Too many people do things for a hobby, or they do things incorrectly. They just are lazy. Or another thing is they want to be famous. That's the worst thing you can hear when someone says, you know, I mean, that's not going to help. It's probably not a bad thing, you know, but at the end of the day, you want to sort of do this because you love it and make that music. And you're at an age where you've got a little bit of time. You got a little head start. You know, that just now, my advice to you guys is don't date musicians. That's my yeah. If it's too late, I'm sorry, but yeah, definitely find yourselves or guys or girls or whatever, these they, them, whatever. Got to be politically correct. You have a job. Jobs are great. Young musicians, especially, could drive you guys insane, like the Rat song. So okay, hopefully people are going to the Instagram right now and liking it. Let's see here. Indie Cult has another question. Jason, I love Something to Believe in. Did you like the album? Did you ever meet? I think it says Johnny. Something to Believe in. I think he's talking about the Ramones song, but that's not the name of the record. But I did like it. It's funny. It's a funny song. That's the Hands Across Your Face. It was supposed to be We Are the World or whatever. And it was fun. There was a lot of famous people in that video. I like all the Ramones records. For me, there's not really a bad one. There were some years that people thought were leaner. The years you guys opened for Richie Ramone. And Richie Ramone played on my record and actually on my theme song, Waste Some Time. I Just Want to Waste Some Time. That's Richie playing drums. I think the records he was on are great. I think he really actually kind of saved them for a little while when music was going through a tough time. The Ramones always thought the next record was the one where this time people are going to get it. Unfortunately, people didn't really get it until they passed. Now I think they will always be a piece of music history, and they
sure, definitely.
The Ramones have such a, from an outsider, it's like silly songs, 3 chords. But when you actually have the albums and hear the harmonies and hear all the little parts in production and realize the songs are such fun, You really can't go wrong with Ramones, and Dee Dee Ramone being one of the great
Yes.
songwriters,
Mhm.
and a complete lunatic. I've had my experiences with him too, and I have a painting of his here. It's one of his last paintings that he ever did. It's from the month of the year.
Wow.
And yeah, and so okay, let's see. Billy's saying the Ramones were geniuses. Guardian Angel pointing out to the Bellas, try not to get jaded, stay true to your heart. Good advice, right?
Yeah.
Chris says that if you practice and enjoy music, you could become dirty, stinking rich.
Nice Warren reference.
I think this is not offensive, so we can pass this one.
Aw.
Thank you.
She's the youngest, so be careful. Yes, but that's good. Listen, guys, it's nothing wrong with being sexy, as they say in Spinal Tap. Let's see here. And then the point was they were calling them sexist, and that's when they say that. You guys, have you seen Spinal Tap?
We have.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
have.
good.
I don't know about them.
It's a band rite of passage. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And Jet says he would like to thank the Bellas for carrying the torch of our generation music. Wish you girls all the best.
Thank
Thank you.
I think it's exciting that you guys you do keep this music going and that younger people discover it. I can tell you from touring with Steven that his audience as well, it gets younger and younger at every show. There's a lot of people who are seeing it for the first time. Steven's 66 years old. I don't know, I don't think there's 10 more years of this. I think he would also like to step aside at some point. Who knows what Rat will do. So it's great to see young people who are getting to see these bands that a lot of people missed. There was a lot of those grunge years where we didn't, where we missed out on these bands. Let's see here. Oh, well, now we're giving all the ladies. Izzy has a beautiful smile. We're giving everybody.
Thank you.
I bet you if I had a guy band on, no one would say anything like nice. You never know. Okay, so yeah, 80s rock will never die. I agree. Listen, Chris, another good one. Maybe you guys should start your career with a farewell tour.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. The Bellas farewell tour. But yeah, so anyway, look, I want to make sure that you guys support them. Go listen to Cherry Lips, and then also go follow on Instagram. You guys got to be more active on there, I think, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
we should definitely. Yeah.
You should all be posting and keeping people abreast with the latest on the Bellas. Okay. And yes, you're all beautiful and extremely talented. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, everybody's everybody. Look at this is a happy. It's a love fest today. 200 people watching right now. I like that we're able to give exposure to a band that maybe wouldn't necessarily, get that. Not that this show is Jimmy Fallon, boy, is he not. But we turn people on because that's the other thing that motivates you guys. I think will motivate you guys. Is that by seeing your numbers rise and seeing people come out, it motivates you to keep it going, and that you see that there's an audience that's growing. Okay. And people would like to see, videos behind the scenes. People, I think so too. I think, listen,
doing that.
good. Yeah. When you go play this show with Kicks, what's the day again?
February 24th. Yeah.
February 24th. One of you guys or all of you guys should document a little bit. We should see what a day is like with the Bellas, and but then that's content, and everyone's going to spread the world. Let's see here. People think I should manage you, and let's see. What city are they based out of? They're based out of. Are you near Sayreville?
We're from all over. We don't really have a home base.
You don't want to
Central.
you don't want to tell these people. Don't tell them which exit you live off of. They'll be standing out there with Bella's. And What are you guys watching on TV? What are young people in touch with? What's on Netflix, or what do you guys do?
Oh God.
Honestly, I don't really watch that much TV.
Yeah, I haven't been.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We watched the X-Files.
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah.
yeah.
I just
That's
watched the
it.
Wednesday series. I thought it was pretty good.
I'm part way through and I enjoy it. You know, I'll have to keep going back, but I'm enjoying that. That's definitely hip. You guys really are. I think I'm more like a teenage girl than you guys. I watch all kinds of whatever ridiculous show is on. But yeah, a lot of people enjoying Wednesday. Question from Eric: how did you guys come up with the name?
When we first started, obviously we were definitely more punk influenced, and so it was kind of a nod to both the Ramones and the Donnas, like we said before. And we were like, well, Bella, that's kind of a term used to mean like pretty girls, so why not use the Bellas as our name? So we kind of just kept it ever since.
Yeah, okay. Billy was saying, ask the girls to give their platform addresses. Can't find them on Insta, or am I just stupid here? Well, not just stupid, but I will point out that it is the Bellas Band. And so if you go to Instagram, I also have the link in the description here. So you can just click on that and you can follow it to their Instagram. So YouTube and Instagram are the best places. The links are on both pages, the Bellas Band. And, okay. And then there's some Bellas merchandise, I think, right? T-shirts?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you guys live in the Jersey area, get out to the and see them with Kicks, which is a great. Have you seen Kicks before?
Yeah, Izzy and I
You
did.
should say the story.
Yeah. So Izzy and I went to go see them with our parents in September, and we totally dug their show. Obviously, they're really great performers, and we love their songs. So we were like, we need to take Abby there to go see them for her birthday, and we were also going to see if Sophia wanted to go, but we also noticed that they had an opening slot for having a band, and we were like, you know what, let's just send in a press kit and see what happens. And so we found out like the day before her birthday that we got the gig, and so we had to just call her up and be like, so we actually need to like change your birthday gift because we were originally going to take you to go see them, but now we're opening for them. So
yeah, I think that's much more exciting, you know.
Definitely.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad you guys got to see them, and
they're great.
let's see here. And yeah, everyone seems to be excited. Like I said, it's good to talk to young bands that aren't jaded yet. If you spend any time with your favorite bands, like I get to, it's everyone just bitches about the other bands, and most of these guys now are complaining about what kind of medicine they need for their back or other things. But so it's nice that you guys haven't been ruined by this industry yet, and then don't let that happen. You know, be strong, independent women. I had Courtney Cox on the show, not from Friends, but from the Iron Maidens.
Oh yeah, I actually sorry, not to cut you off there.
Yeah.
I actually had the opportunity to play with another all-female tribute band. It's a Motley tribute called Girls, Girls, Girls. I was filling in for their normal guitar player, but I was actually able to play with them on the bill, not obviously at the same time, but we played before them, so kind of interesting connection there.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool bill. She doesn't like to talk about, you know, being a female guitarist. She likes to talk about being a guitarist, which obviously makes sense. But what happens is sometimes when you go to these venues, sometimes sound guys can be jerks or production people, and they somehow think, and I guarantee you she plays better than all of these people. But I made the point that sometimes you kind of have to explain that you know what you're doing, and and show some confidence in it. You know, that's it's one of the things I've learned from this industry. Being younger and being women, it can be great, but it can also be a little difficult. You're in a little bit of a man's world. That's changing, though, I think. Let's see. Guardian Angel says, "Great to see these young ladies flying the flag for rock and roll." I agree. And again, this is really the beginning stages of this band. Even though you guys have been around for a while, it's new. There's only one original song so far. It's just starting to finish show. So by building a following, you know, we'll get even more. So we're getting to follow these guys. Somebody says the Bellas seem devoid of anger. My co-host Johnny, he can sometimes do that. Myself. You guys do seem to all get along. I'm only chatting with you for a little bit, but
Yeah, it definitely helps that
Yeah.
most of us are family. But yeah, Sophia is great.
Good
Like,
fit.
Thanks, guys.
yeah, we all get along really well.
yeah, it's hard to get rid of your family. Although some people, Russell says the Bellas rule, and
Thank you.
Thank you.
some of these questions I never know. Like what does this mean? Does a cheetah have spots? Let's see.
Interesting.
I try to read through everybody's comments. Still 200 people watching. It's late in New Jersey.
Mhm.
It's probably like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock.
Yeah, around there,
Yeah.
around 10.
You kids probably got to get to bed soon.
No. I was gonna say, with the way we stay up now.
Well,
Kids are
that's
great.
when. Yeah, stay up all night is when the best ideas occur. When everyone else is asleep, you've got to be working. We got to get at least 100 new followers on their Instagram. I feel like we can do that, and so I'm checking right now. I'm following up because we got to give a push and support young artists because we're going to need them to support us soon. All right, hold on. Let's see how your Instagram numbers are doing. It looks like we're growing a little bit. We need to grow more though. Here, I'm gonna put this link. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. And hold on. All right, there's that. And so now you guys can just click on that and go to their Instagram and follow them. They were nice enough to sit here. And Bella's Mania. I like that name. And Jason's ready to see you guys if you come to Wisconsin. So he's planning. Yeah, you guys gonna have to start planning the touring. So what's the future hold? What can we look forward to?
We're hoping to start venturing out of state soon. Definitely New York, and then hopefully up and down the East Coast. Obviously, you have to think like short term first, but yeah, definitely we want to try to get out in New York and stuff like that, and then branch out and see where it goes from there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I like that you guys seem to have good heads on your shoulders. Let's see here. Yeah, what's great about being a performer is you don't have to read all these ridiculous comments. You can just go on stage and perform music. Some of them are great, but some of these things are just so ridiculous. Although I feel like everyone's acted their age a little bit more than usual. So what else do we need to know? What do you guys got planned? What are you guys doing for New Year's Eve?
Honestly, I don't even know. It's been crazy the past few weeks between like getting like finals down and stuff like that. So now that it's winter break, it's just like shutting off the brain. But definitely looking ahead, we're trying to get into the studio and prepare for this Kicks gig. We want to be in tip-top shape, definitely. And yeah, pretty much that.
Yeah. How many songs do you have to play for the Kicks show?
I think we have like a
9 or 10. It's like a 45.
45-minute set. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You guys
Pretty long for us, so.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good amount of time. You guys are like me with my punk band. We would say, okay, we're going to play 45 minutes, and that would be 74 songs. With all the 1, 2, 3, 4s, and how fast we play some of those songs. Yeah, they can. In 45 minutes, you have to fit a lot of songs. Yeah. But yeah, you guys should post some behind the scenes, maybe some streaming and all of those things. And I hope that we can have you. Here's a funny one from Jet. He says that I wonder if Johnny was as happy and positive when he was at the age of these girls. Probably was. Back then, when he was on his way to GIT, he was probably such a positive guy. And then the music industry just, he worked with a lot of jugheads and okay, yeah. So, all right. I want to make sure that everyone gets their say. And so, okay, guys. Well, in New Year's, you'll find something to do. And what did you do for Christmas?
I don't know about Sophia, but obviously we were all together, just having a nice family dinner.
Sophia, you weren't invited to the family dinner?
Yeah, I guess I'm not officially a part of the Bellas family, guys. I'm like the lost cousin. We always say like me and Abby, we're kind of like we look alike, and then there's the sister.
Yeah.
She's the honorary.
Yeah, she's an honorary sibling.
Yeah, well, that's good. You keep it in the family, unless you end up like the Black Crowes or one of these bands that hate people. There's probably other ones. All right, so we're going to make sure we go to Instagram and follow the Bellas. And look, we're getting to see this from the very beginning, from the ground up. We're gonna keep checking in on you guys, and when you're selling millions and millions of records, visit me in the old age home and push me into the sun. Little things like that. Okay. Somebody says they think I should feature more upcoming bands on the show. Well, yeah. Well, that's because you're sick of hearing about everybody else who's already been interviewed. We're starting on the ground floor here. I'm bringing you guys in. They were such nice people and such real fans of rock and roll that I thought it'd be fun to spotlight them. Again, you could check out. I didn't film very much. That Atlantic City trip was very bizarre. That whole experience. You guys must have thought it was bizarre as well.
It was just so unexpected.
Kind of surreal.
Yeah,
definitely.
Very.
Did you guys watch the whole day, or did you just see Steve?
We got there about midway through Slaughter. Yeah.
I was bugging them. I was like, I really want to see Slaughter. I really want to see Great White and Steven. Because we primarily went for Stephen Piercy.
Yeah.
But I listened to like old radio stations and I've heard Slaughter and Great White. I just saw them on the lineup and I was like, oh, we should go for them too.
Yeah, that was the better day, I thought. And like most before Hinder and Chevelle, you guys hit the highway, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that they're going to remember the day when they could say they saw the Bellas first.
Aww, thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Some of the stuff, ladies, is so inside that it would take me too long to even explain it to you. Leo says, "Are they fans of Susie?"
I'm fans.
I love Susie too.
Okay, good. That's a good one. Susie Quattro was on this show, and she's one of my favorites too. I saw her on Happy Days when I was younger, but she's a great bass player, has great songs.
She's so cool.
She's awesome.
Yeah, there's a cool documentary about her, and it was an honor to have her on the show. Okay, let's see. If anyone else got anything, then I'm going to let the ladies go back to their lives. It's not like they all sleep in bunk beds like the monkeys. They've all got to go back to their lives, right? Do you guys all live near each other at least?
Sort of. We definitely live closer. She's about an hour away from us, but it's not too bad.
Sophia could have been live via satellite, but you guys were showing.
No, I wanted to be here.
Yes, you wanted to be there. Okay, and Bella's Rule, of course. And all right, well, guys, listen, I'm so glad you came on, and like I said, we're going to follow up.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we're going to follow up with you guys. So I want to see more music and more writing, and as there's more things to talk about, you'll come back and we'll follow up. And maybe, the whole world is with these TV shows where you discover people. Maybe we'll discover the next big thing. We got to get you guys a record deal, which means you got to write some more songs.
Oh yeah.
You guys got a lot of work to do. They want to know if you have your own tour bus yet. I'm sure that's
Not
on.
yet.
I wish.
Working on it.
Yeah, they're working on it. And Siegel says you gals cheered him up. That's good.
Thank
Aw.
you.
And a lot of nice things. Look, the audience is very nice, which is good because sometimes they can be ridiculous. All right, ladies. So we're going to stay in touch. Hopefully, you guys will come out and see Steven with Vince Neil when that show is. I'll message. Who do I talk to on Instagram? Who's the person that I've been messaging?
Oh, it's Abby.
I'm like, I think I'm talking to one of them. So Abby, you're handling social media, and
Yeah.
Julie, you're handling conversation, and Izzy's kind of the recluse, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm the oldest, but I guess the quietest.
I haven't figured Sophia out yet.
I'm just the bass player.
Nothing,
Wild card.
Yeah.
nothing wrong with those. Wrong with that. No, the name of the single on iTunes again is Cherry Lips, and don't cancel them. All right, guys. I'm so glad you were here, and I'm so glad that we turned some new music on, and a young band that doesn't hate the world. Give it time.
Thank you so much for having
I'll
us.
interview.
Thank you.
Oh, of course, I'll interview you guys in a couple of years, and you'll be like, "Oh my God, this business is terrible. I hate it." We'll be sitting on the same Delta flights, 12 flights to get to one side of the country. So, and all right, Sophia, somebody has some kind of, I don't know what that is.
Is it a black
Oh,
flag?
black flag.
We're flying the flag for you. Let's see. All right, guys. It's been fun again. We'll stay in touch, and I hope to see you guys. And then we got to get you out to Vegas. You guys should play in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
definitely. We would
definitely.
love to.
Yeah,
Have you been to Las Vegas?
No, not yet.
Right. Have you been to LA?
I have.
No.
Been to San Francisco, but not LA.
You guys, well, you work up a few more songs, you build the following, you build the Instagram, then you guys got to play the whiskey.
Yes.
Yeah. I was just
Yes.
telling them.
Yeah.
I was just telling them that's my dream venue.
Well, luckily it's a landmark, so I think it's going to be around a while. And yeah, and you guys can play there with one of the bands that you've been influenced by. Okay, guys, I'm going to talk a little bit more nonsense and then get out of here.
Thank
you
you
so much
again.
for
Thank you
us.
for everything.
You got it. Thank you, guys. All right, there's the Bellas. So it was so nice of them to come by, and most of you acted your age while watching. Dr. Paul, not so much, but that's okay. And yeah, I think it would be nice. And I like these kind of people. I like Seth White. Now that they're here. Stop gushing. I doubt they would bang you. Like, where does? Now that they're not here, I can say that people are jerks. Seth, it's time to grow up. Let's see. Johnny is killing himself with bread and pasta. That's for sure. And I don't know if and yes, we all love the Bellas. And yeah, we can get them. We get them gigs here in Vegas as well. Let's see. Everybody seemed to enjoy the interview. I like people who just want to see the same old shit. Some people would rather I just talk to the same musicians, or me and Johnny just tell you the same story for the 1,000th time. Like we did share with you the secret behind the scenes of the Stryper Christmas party. Anyway, there's a lot of videos out right now that you guys should watch, and there's a lot of interviews coming up. We took a little bit of a pause for Christmas, but we'll be back in full swing. As you know, there's all the travel things we did, and there's more tour diaries coming too. Jason Holstein says, nice interview, great ladies, very encouraging for music. I agree. And let's see. What other band had a drummer and a guitar player that were siblings? It's a good question. What if the Bellas know?
Oh yeah.
Did you guys know the band that? Oh, sorry. Did you guys?
We're on the live stream right now.
If you see anything offensive, disregard it. contact the authorities. Can you name a band that has a drummer and a guitar player that are related?
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Van Halen.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Pantera.
Yeah, see, the ladies do. Van Halen and Pantera, yeah. All right, so, okay. All right, I'll let you guys get back to the I might need you again, so you'll be there if we need you. Okay. There's the fellas. See, they know what's going on. My memory's already gone. Thank you so much, Mark, for the super chat. I'm going to see you Friday. And yes, and Mark has a book for me that we'll talk about that as well. What did I miss here? Great interview. Don't let the idiots get you. Oh, it's fine. I learned a long time ago when I got into this influencing, if you will, of YouTube, that a lot of men who like to sit on the YouTube have not seen a woman in person, especially a young woman, and so they sometimes act slightly inappropriate, but that's okay. And the girls are smart and have their own thing. So. Let's see here. Where's that? Where's that Mark Weiss book? Oh, I should mention the Mark Weiss book, Decade That Rocked. And this is the best book if you're looking for a holiday gift. Michelle got this one right here, and I recommend that. I also recommend you go to Whatnot. Link is in the description. They'll give you $15 off anything you buy. So if you're into collectibles like Funko and things like that. They have vinyl on there and clothes. If you just use the code, sign up for an account, they give you $15 for free. So I should mention that. That's what you got to do with these sponsors. You have to mention them. And so anyway, that's a great thing. It's free. Take it. Go buy something. And soon maybe you'll be able to go buy the Bellas record. Okay, let's see. Susan says it's great to see that we had the Bellas live. It was fun to see them on the tour vlog meeting Stephen. Yeah, it was great, and I'm glad that we were able to have them. Here's a question: if you, Bellas, could be a part of any 3-band lineup, who would you want to share the stage with? Well, that's a really good question. So you're saying if the Bellas could play with 3 bands, I think it's 2 bands including them, who would they like to share the stage with? Well, I think it's a good question. Let's ask.
We were just talking about that one. We were saying if we could resurrect the Ramones. Then we said Kiss. Yeah.
The original.
We said then Kiss and Rat.
And Pretty Boy Floyd would be a cool, and Enough's Enough, like some bands are still around.
Pretty Boy Floyd and Stephen Pearcy at least are very doable. Enough's Enough. I don't know if you guys want to stoop to that. Johnny Monaco's not here, but he was once in Enough's Enough, and they have very hard feelings. And I like Donnie V, the original singer for Enough's Enough. I think having the bass player sing. No offense, Sophia, to me or you who play bass. You're better off to have the original guy. Okay, hold on. There's some money for my cat. That's always nice. I don't know what she is right now. I have to feed her right before the show, or she'll just talk. Talk the show. Let's see. Okay. All right, guys. You guys go back to. They're here if we need to phone in a lifeline. I wish the Bellas were always here. They have a fresh perspective on life, and like I said, my numbers today are all of a sudden all the young people are just coming right. Although the Bellas. Ladies, you guys are more 40-year-old minded than most adults that are 40 years on the show. They're pretty hip and they're into cool stuff. Let's see here. All right. Well, someone wants to know if you have pets.
There's so many.
You pets, guys?
We do.
I have a dog.
Yeah, we have a dog too.
A pug.
I have a dog as well.
There you go. You see, you ask the questions, you get it. You think Eddie Trunk is asking questions like this? I bet you.
The hard-hitting questions,
Hard-hitting questions, absolutely. Okay, we're gonna let the Bellas go back to. Yeah, there we go. New Psychics, the Bellas. That's right. Let's see. Billy says he used to be in band, but at 48, he now rescues cats. Well, that's a noble thing to do. tour managing a lot is a lot like rescuing cats. As the famous story, we had Monty Melnick, the tour manager for the Ramones, on here, as he said, the famous story that after the shows, the Ramones used to like to go to 7-Eleven and buy their milk and cookies. And a woman said to Monty, "It's so nice what you do for these retarded boys." And I think most bands, tour managers would feel the same. Yeah, Jason Holsty would like to see me, Johnny, and the Bellas every Wednesday. Well, I think we'll have the Bellas back more often because they can tell us, we can follow their progress, and they can give us a younger approach. Although, as you see, their answers are we don't watch TV and things like that. Let's see. Have the Bellas thought about doing Soraya covers? Now, I thought Soraya was great. I'm thinking the Bellas don't know what that is, but let's find out. You guys know Soraya?
No, unfortunately, I don't.
All right. There's this chick. I don't think you can say that anymore. There's this woman, Sandy Soraya. She was once married to Brian Wheat from Tesla, and in like 90 or so, she put out a record, and she had a kind of hit song, and you guys might like it. I don't know if I would recommend covering it because no one will know what you're doing. But, hold on. A Seagull Rock Squawk says Cherry Lips is a fun song, a summer song for sure. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
yeah. So we got to get more. We got to get more people to. I don't know what this means, but I'll throw it out there. Did the Pitch Perfect movies have any part in the name?
We want to address that
No.
right. We actually get that a lot. No, it has
Yeah, not at
nothing.
all.
we were getting those comments after the fact that we made our name, and we thought about it, and we were like, "Oh, people are gonna think this," but it had nothing to do with the name.
Got it. All right. Now, have you guys looked into the business of having the name the Bellas? You want to make sure that no one else is using that name.
Yeah, we're like definitely considering changing it maybe at some point, especially because like the Bellas, they're like a wrestling pair and stuff like that, and obviously like with Pitch Perfect and stuff like that. But for now, we just kind of kept it the same, especially because a lot of people know us as that. But
Right.
Who knows what the future holds?
Yeah. Well, we got to make sure that we make that decision soon. By we, I mean you, because you want to grow your audience. All right, let's see here. Let's see. The Seth White guy is funny. Like, this is a guy who's in his mother's basement, and he's probably overweight. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but he's very, and he's probably very lonely, and he has nothing better to do than be ridiculous. You know? And it's fine. I get it. This is the most you've seen of young women in your life. So he says Seth says he's going to unsubscribe. So we're going to block him as well, which is always fun to do. Usually the audience is so nice, but sometimes you, like I said, you get these old guys and they just themselves. All right, Bellas, do you know Brittany Fox?
Yes.
Yeah. Brittany Fox it's just a bass player. It's another one of those bass player things. He's the only one. But did you guys know that, I think you got there late, but that show in Atlantic City, the drummer for Brittany Fox was in Doro Pesch's band.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Johnny D. He is the drummer for Doro Pesch, so he was there. All right, let's see. All right, everyone's happy that we got rid of Seth. So, okay, all right, we're gonna let the Bellas go back to. I feel like you guys always are just there, like together, hanging out.
We'll be here.
Yeah, and it's good that we can check in. All right, still we're over the 2-hour mark. Johnny hasn't come back, so it must have been some fantastic party coming up soon on the show. Michael Olivieri of the band Leatherwolf. He's going to come on. I had the drummer from Leatherwolf. They have a disagreement. This show has become the place to air out your disagreements. And so he'll be here to talk about it. Also, Wednesday 13. I don't think I've mentioned this yet. Wednesday 13 is going to be on the show very soon. I like that because that's not this, not the same type, a little different genre. Maybe we'll attract some different people. We'll talk to him about Murder Dolls and his career as well. So he'll be here. Kane Roberts and I are still trying to get a date settled, but I think we will get that soon. Greg is watching from Long Island. He says the Bellas rock, so that's good. East Coast, he could probably go out to see some of these early Bellas shows. We're all going to be saying we remember when the Bellas were just beginning. And let's see here. Someone says they think Johnny is 4 drinks deep. I'm willing to bet that he is as well. So anyway, I got one more day, and then it's off to Los Angeles for the Whiskey A Go Go. Too bad the Bellas can't hop on the bus out to Hollywood like the Poison Fallen Angel video and see the Stephen Pierce show at Whiskey. I hear there's going to be some very special surprise guests. I can't say who, and then also if they didn't show up, then I would look stupid. But there's going to be some. There is going to be some surprises. Keep bringing all the great content on your channel. Well, thank you so much. We try to mix it up. There's all kinds of stuff. The tour diaries, then the holiday events, and then of course you can watch me scratch lottery tickets this morning. Always up for fun. Any chance of John Christ or Erie Vaughn? And then you were going to ask about Wednesday 13. Well, John Christ is an option. He's starting to do conventions and appearances, so that could be an option. Those are Danzig's original players from the solo band. So we'll have to see about that. Wind War Attack says he just watched the Bella song Cherry Lips, very catchy song, and the band pick was Smoking. All right. Let's see. Let's see. I always try to figure out what the hell people are saying here. Yeah, the holiday videos were fun. Johnny needs to be on Hallmark TV. Yeah, after all that, we made such a big deal out of turning in the ballots or whatever. You go around, you find the reindeers, you stamp the thing, and then you get a chance to appear on a Hallmark movie. But we did all that, and Johnny didn't even drop his thing in the bucket. So it looks like Johnny's mom is still going to be disappointed in him because he might not make it into Hallmark. Let's see here. Oh, there goes my cat. All right, so make sure you go into the description and click on the link to Patreon. You want to sign up for Patreon. That way you can ask the questions and watch all the interviews commercial free first. Then you want to go down and check out the Bellas on Instagram. Follow them. We got to build that up. We got to help support young entertainers. And then click on Whatnot. Go over there, sign up, and get yourself 15 free bucks, and it will be a great thing. Yeah, people are saying Bitsy is the real moneymaker. It's true. Usually when Bitsy appears, the kibble fund goes through the roof. But I'm not sure she's going to. I'm not sure she's appearing tonight. Okay, I think we've gotten to everybody. I think this was a jam-packed, fun show. Let's see. Make sure I got everything. All right, so from here on out, you'll get a tour diary most likely on Monday, and then I'll be back live on Wednesday. New interviews begin again on Friday. I thank you guys all for watching. I thank the Bellas for stopping by. We thank Johnny Monaco. Hopefully he's still upright. And we will catch you all again very soon. Thank you and good night.